If you're dealing with a pathological narcissist, then you're dealing with a highly disordered individual. NPD along with ASPD, HPD, and BPD belong to what we call the cluster B personality disorders, and you can find this in the DSM, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Illnesses, which is governed by the APA, and that is the American Psychiatric Association. Now, because all of these are in the same cluster, then they're going to have similar features. So all cluster B individuals are empathy impaired, but to different degrees. And again, they have other features besides this, but I really want to focus on this lack of empathy. So if I say someone is a narcopath, then they're going to be on the energetic vibration of where NPD is, narcissistic personality disorder, and it's going to overlap with what clinicians are calling antisocial personality disorder, that which you may commonly call sociopathy or psychopathy. So a narcopath or a malignant narcissist then is a narcissist with sociopathic tendencies or a sociopathic narcissist. And when it comes to spectrums, then spectrums are pretty much standards. Light exists on a spectrum. So on one end, we can say something is very bright, and then on the other end, we can say something is very dark. Energy also exists on a spectrum. So based on this scale here, understand that psychopaths have the least amount of empathy, then it's going to be the sociopath, then the narcissist, etc. Someone that lacks empathy is going to be a very dangerous individual because this person is unable to put themselves in other people's shoes. So you really are dealing with someone that is going to harm you, and they really won't feel bad about it because, again, they are empathy impaired. Now, while clinicians need 5 or more of the following traits that you see here on your screen to diagnose someone with narcissistic personality disorder, I want to make it abundantly clear to you that anyone that you encounter with 1 or even 2 of these traits is going to be a highly toxic and manipulative person. When you understand our multidimensional nature, then you understand that we are spirit operating a human body with access to different tools or faculties, namely our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions. Hence, psychologists or psychotherapists study the area that we call the soul or the psyche or the personality. Hence, psychologists or psychotherapists are psychopathologists. So they are people that study diseases or disorders of the mind, emotions, or will. And if clinicians are psychopathologists, then they are observing phenomena in the physical realm. So they're observing phenomena at the body level. And based on those symptoms, then they're going to assign that to the area of the psyche. Hence why narcissistic personality disorder or antisocial personality disorder then is classified at one level a mental illness. It is important to understand that clinicians, so again psychologists and psychotherapists, do not study the area of the spirit. They are people that observe phenomena in the physical realm and then they assign that to the realm of the psyche. So they study people from the outside in. However, we create or we manifest from the inside out. And what I mean by this is you, the spirit, use your mind to make decisions and then you act that out in the physical realm. And instead of using the word spirit, you could say the watcher, the observer, prana, chi, source energy, etc. So at your core, you are energy, and at your core, you mostly are non-physical. You cannot touch the spirit, you cannot touch the mind, you cannot touch your emotions, you cannot touch the willpower. What you can touch is your physical body. But again, you are not your body, you have a body. You have a mind, you have emotions, you have a will. However, at your core, you are spirit. And we create from the non-physical to the physical. Understand that what clinicians classify as various mental illnesses are various degrees of disconnection from spirit. And when we're talking about pathological narcissists, we're dealing with people that abandoned their true selves in childhood for a false self, that which you would call the ego or the mask. And the ego or the mask is a mind-made construct. So it is a thought. It is a belief system of sorts. So if you're dealing with a pathological narcissist and pathological narcissists believe that they are their mind, then you're dealing with people that are losing their minds, because again, we are not our minds. We have a mind. We are spirit operating a human body with the access to our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions as tools. Not only are you dealing with someone that is losing their mind, you really are dealing with an underdeveloped soul. These are people that did not develop into adulthood. Understand that whoever you thought the pathological narcissist was, so let's say you're dealing with someone and their name is Tom or Mary. Understand that Tom or Mary passed away a very long time ago. And what you have been dealing with is a mind-made construct. The ego or the mask is a figment of a child's imagination, now existing inside of an adult's body. So not only is pathological narcissism a mental illness, it is really a psycho-spiritual illness. And this is why oftentimes when you're interacting with pathological narcissists, it's like nobody's home because the captain abandoned their ship. The driver is in the back seat. And it is important to understand here that the ship that you are on is Titanic. So it is impossible to build with a narcissist because they embody destructive energy. You're dealing with a walking black hole. There is a hole where their spirit should be, and this pretty much provides a vacuum. It provides a space for negative energy, negative palpable energy sources to enter. Pathological narcissists are walking black holes, and this is why they need to plug into your energy source, because they cannot generate this on their own. Understand that the longer they live in their ego, the further they disconnect from their true self, their true spirit. And this is why they are so insatiable. You're trying to prop up their ego. And this is also what causes their narcissistic injury. And what is a narcissistic injury? A narcissistic injury is when the narcissist perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, that goes against their false self, that goes against their ego. You're dealing with people that live in a delusional reality. They live in a false reality because, again, they believe that they are their mind. They believe that they are their ego, and they do not want to have their own ego death. Hence, they will not spiritually awaken. You are dealing with people that exist in a suffering state. Narcissists are people that are rooted in their shame and they are unable to move past their pride. Again, when we say shame here, we're talking about pathological shame or pathologically low self-esteem. This is the self-abandonment. This is the black hole energy. And this is why they must consume your energy to survive. This is why you are unable to love a narcissist and they are unable to love you. They are unable to reach the vibration of love. Love is all the way up there in the level of 500s. Pathological narcissism exists below the line of 200. They only have access to negative emotions. You cannot love a narcissist and they cannot reciprocate that love. Any love or kindness or compassion that you give to the narcissist will evaporate right there at the line of pride. You really are speaking two different languages. You are operating at two completely different frequencies. You operate in two completely different dimensions. Pathological narcissists exist in the third dimension, and that is where they have been stuck for a very long time, long before you came into the picture. The third dimension is what we call victim abuser consciousness. It is what we call the lower ego. Again, we're dealing with people that did not develop into adulthood, so you're dealing with the Peter Pan type of personality. They are empathy impaired because they're filled with apathy, and they're filled with shame and guilt that they don't want to face. And again, they top out at the level of pride. If you're dealing with one of these personality types, understand that they have very severe psycho-spiritual arrested development. And this is why you must get the courage to walk away and stay away. You must get the courage to walk away and love yourself. Give yourself the compassion that you are trying to give to the narcissist. Narcissists do not want your love or compassion. They want your attention, admiration, validation, and your reflection. They are looking for someone to boost their ego. Any love or compassion that you give to them is going into that black hole. And what do black holes do? They consume light. And again, you are the light. You are source energy. You are source. You are light. You are light source. You are a light being. You are energy at your core. And this is why they must plug into various supplies to give them life, because again, you are the life. Understand that if you get entangled with someone that has abandoned themselves, they will also want you to abandon yourself. And this is why it felt like you were losing yourself in this toxic entanglement. All right, good people. Thank you again for your continued support. If you appreciate the content, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and save the videos. And if you have any questions or comments or feedback, just go ahead and leave that in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.